Welcome, Jameis. Before we turn it over for questions, just want to let everybody in the local media know that you're all new face and name to Jameis. So if you could, when you're asking a question, identify yourself and your outlet, and we'll let Jameis take it away. And Jameis, welcome to the Saints. It's great to have
Who that?
you.
Jameis, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. John DeShazier, NewOrleansSaints.com. Jameis, you mentioned that you had to somewhat suppress some ego in going into this decision. Do you feel like that's something you needed at this point in your career to have an ego check?
No, I don't think I ever said anything about an ego check. I think I mentioned humility, and
Okay.
One thing about humility is everyone needs to be humble. Everyone needs those humble experience, and throughout my entire life, I started from very humble beginnings. So it's definitely it's another chapter in my life that I'm going to learn from, and it's going to make me better.
Hey, Jameis, Rod Walker from the Times-Picayune. What made the Saints a good fit for you?
Well, we have a Hall of Fame quarterback and the future Hall of Fame coach. That's very intriguing for a young quarterback like myself. And also, I've been playing against this defense for the past 5 years, and they continue to get better and be dominant. This is a Super Bowl contending team, and I'm just happy to be a part of that.
Hey, Jameis, my name is Fletcher. I work at NBC WDSU TV. Who did you speak with about the decision? Was it a hard decision? Was it an easy decision? Was it your agent, your family, a little bit of everybody? Because obviously there were reports that you had more lucrative offers, but this you felt like was the best situation for you.
Yeah, it was a little bit of everybody. During this time, I've got married. I've had numerous conversations. I've been doing a lot of different things. A lot of people are going through a lot, but I think all the wisdom and guidance I got from others kind of helped me with this decision. It really was easy in terms of knowing the quarterback room that I was going to be in, understanding that I love this game with all my heart. So despite a lot of different things that come with this game, like money and celebrity status. I think one thing that Derrick Brooks taught me through my time with him from Florida State to now is you got to respect the game, and the game will always be bigger than you, and the game will always win. And my experience of being a football player, a professional football player, the game has won. So I just wanted to honor that and be a part of this organization, be in a quarterback room as prestigious as the one that we have now, and be the best football player, be the best teammate I possibly can be.
Hey, James, you mentioned the quarterback room. Have you had any prior relationships with Drew? I mean, what's that relationship like?
Yeah, it's only a few people in this league that actually follow up with you when you ask them a question, when you reach out to them. I met Drew. The first time I met Drew was in 2006. I was the first kid to get his autograph. But I met Drew pre-draft back in San Diego. I think that's his home base. And we got a chance to talk with actually at the Rock Church with Miles McPherson in San Diego. And ever since then, he's always been a guy that I can hit up during the season and ask a question, and he'll get back with me. So I just love the person that he is and the guy that he is, and I'm so excited to learn from him and help serve him in any way.
Hey, Jameis, this is Nick from New Orleans Stop Football. What do you feel like you need to get done so next year when you're back on the market, you're competing for that starting job? Obviously, you didn't come here for the money. You came here to accomplish something. What is that something?
Yeah, what I need to get done is I need to be a great teammate. I need to serve our team, and I need to be competing every day. One thing that I do take pride in is being competitive, and I'm gonna do my best to be the best football player I can be. This sport, even though I'm coming to New Orleans, I still love this game of football. right? And we're gonna play a lot of football in New Orleans, and we're gonna win a lot of games.
Are there any specific aspects of your game though, like, hey, I need to do this better or this better? You know, are there certain things that you're coming here specifically that you want to work on?
Yeah, it's every year I have a different set of goals and set of things that I want to get better at. But one thing that I'm really excited to learn, the most exciting thing, is just the way that this quarterback room functions. West Coach Payton's approach to every week. You know, Wes Drew's approach to his week. You know, what is Taysom doing in the room that I can add to my game? You know, just trying to find different things by serving this team and learning from everybody I can, even from Doug in the media. They're just trying to learn as much as I can and to be the best I can be.
Jameis, did you have other offers from teams, and did you have options for more money and possibly even to compete for a starting job?
Well, you know, yes, I did, but I'm a New Orleans Saint. You know, and that's what my focus is. You know, I think this was definitely one of the best opportunities for me to grow as a quarterback and as a professional in this league. So I'm gonna do my best to take full advantage of this opportunity that was presented to me.
Jameis, have you ever had a situation before where maybe you were the student? You've kind of been the guy for a long time, haven't you? When was the last time you walked into a situation where you clearly knew you were sort of learning from someone else?
Every day, like I'm learning from someone else. Like this is going to be relatively new. The only thing that's going to be new is that I'm not the guy, but to myself, I'm still a guy, and I'm gonna approach every day like I'm the guy, and I think that's what that quarterback room breeds of. Like when you see what happened last year with the amount of play time that Taysom and Teddy got. I'm not saying that I'm going to expect that this year, but those guys were prepared, and that's where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be prepared for whatever. I love being a quarterback. You have to be a student of the game. So now I actually get a chance to dive into that more, and I actually have a Hall of Fame quarterback that I'm learning from, opposed to trying to learn by myself or use Google.
Jameis, how much did Teddy Bridgewater's experience here in New Orleans over 2 years have to do with your decision, and did you talk to Teddy?
Yeah, I talked to Teddy, and I'm really just talking to him because I'm so happy for the opportunity he has in Carolina, and the chance we get to compete against him twice a year. But I talked to him, and he really loved the quarterback room. I think that was one of the big things, just how they were in that quarterback room, and the things that he was able to learn and apply to his game to make him a better leader and a better quarterback.
Jameis, where is the Drew Brees autograph now?
You know what? Excuse me. I lost that Drew Brees autograph. I got it. It was a Hoover Bucks football picture that he autographed for me. And I had a wallet, not one of those big fat wallets that people don't have anymore. and I lost it. I think I lost it on the bus. It didn't have any money in there, so ain't nobody get rich, but they got my picture.
We'll work on getting you another one, Jameis.
Thanks, Jameis. This is Andrew Doak from the CBS in New Orleans. Look, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but when you kind of got that question about setting yourself up for your next offer, I think people always assume that that's outside of the Saints building. Is there any possibility in your conversations with Sean Payton that next opportunity, depending on what happens with Brees, could be in the Saints building?
Yeah, I'm focused on this primary opportunity. The primary opportunity is getting a chance to work with Drew Brees, Sean Payton, Taysom Hill, and Tommy Stevens, and Coach Lombardi, and Coach Carmichael, and Coach Williams. Like, that is my opportunity. Like, that's the biggest, most important opportunity that I have right now. And I'm definitely not looking forward looking forward, looking ahead, right? I'm focused on this, what I have right now, and we'll be able to have that conversation next year or years down the road. Who knows? Like we don't know. Like I didn't think that I was going to be in this position this time last year, but God had a different plan, and I'm excited for the plan that He has for me moving forward.
Jameis, a lot of quarterbacks succeed.
You mentioned that you had other offers. Was this a situation you pursued at all? Like, was this the spot where you looked at it and were like, I want to be here? Can you kind of take us through how this came together?
Can you kind of start over with your question?
Yeah, you mentioned that there were some other offers and other opportunities. Was this a situation that you pursued? And can you kind of just tell us maybe how the offer came together and how you came to be here?
Well, I think anybody being a starting quarterback in this league, they want to have opportunity to compete and be the starting quarterback of this league. But when you really think about the progression of a football player, when you have opportunity to be in the same division, to work with a coach who is as successful and as smart as Sean Payton, and work with a quarterback who will be, and whenever he decides to retire, he's going to probably get escorted to the Hall of Fame. I don't think you really can beat that, regardless of what it is, especially if you believe in yourself. If you believe in the ability that you have, if you believe in really, if you have faith that you will become a starting quarterback again, you take this opportunity in a heartbeat to work with these amazing group of men.
Jameis, a lot of quarterbacks succeed in their second trip, like Ryan Tannehill did at Tennessee. Do you draw inspiration from that, and will you do anything differently to get ready for the next journey, whatever that is?
Yes, I do. I do draw inspiration from that. It shows his resilience. It shows the other quarterbacks' ability to put things behind and press forward. I was watching the movie Onward with my son the other day, and that's just an amazing word, onward. And that's what I'm doing. I'm pressing onward, and like I said, I'm gonna do my best to be the best quarterback I can be for this organization and help serve my teammates.
James, when you talk about the things you need to improve, obviously everybody points to the turnovers. Is that number one in your mind, or is that something you're almost unapologetic for in that you're willing to take some risks?
Yeah, ball security is the primary part of our position, but also getting the ball to our guys and getting the ball in their hands so they can make some plays is another important piece. I'm gonna address every part of my game, not just one part, because my goal is to be a perfectionist. My goal is to work and actually apply the work, so we can get results, and that's what I'm focused on.
Jameis, Amy Just here from the Times-Picayune. You had LASIK surgery this offseason. I guess, what are some examples of how maybe your vision has improved since having that surgery?
There's no blurriness, and I think that's huge. Depth perception has increased tremendously, and those are the big things. I didn't have bad eyes. I just had those. I had astigmatism. I had certain things that they had to fix to increase the precision and the sharpness of my vision, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I can say this. When you're riding the car and say you get into an accident, but you can't read the license plate of the person who you just hit, but they just ran off because they didn't have insurance, right? Stuff like that. Like, I can read license plates. I can read street signs. I think the precision in the vision is the biggest difference.
James, are you also fully healthy with the knee surgery you had after the season? Is that already recovered, or is there a timetable on that?
Yeah, it was a scope, man. You got to check out my IG and see me working out, bro. You got to follow me. Follow me on IG.
Jameis, I was actually going to ask you about that. I haven't really followed your off-season workouts before, but it looks like looks like this season maybe you lost some weight this off season, and you kind of getting after it. Was there a change for you this off season? Were you motivated to try and kind of change your body?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story, okay? And don't get too comfortable with this because y'all new to me, so I'm gonna share a story with y'all. The place that I had my surgery at was in Birmingham, Alabama, and I got a chance to work with a physical therapist that Drew is very familiar with, Kevin Wilk. This is actually the same place that I met Drew, and I got his autograph for the first time. And with working with him, I think Kevin really inspired me to just focus on being as healthy as I possibly can. And Dr. Dugas, who performed the surgery, I've known him since I was 12 years old. He just said, hey, man, we want you to get as healthy as possible. And this is a great time to work on your body, work on getting everything else up underneath you, because you had this tear for 3 years, and now it's time to just heal up your whole body, eat great food. So I decided to go vegan. So I've been vegan for the past 4 months, and it's just changed my body drastically. I do cheat every Saturday. I'm eating some chicken or something. I can't be super vegan. I'd be like 210 pounds. But I think those two individuals, Dr. Dugas and Kevin Wilk, really inspired me to just use this time recovering from my knee and focus on my body, focus on how I can be the best athlete, the best quarterback I possibly can be.
How glad will you be that the Superdome crowd will be cheering for you instead of screaming at you? And what was it like playing there, just with like how crazy it can get?
Man, I'm so happy because like Superdome gets rocking, and just being from Alabama, being a Southern kid, football is really, really important. Like, if you don't like football in Alabama, like they probably, send you back with the stork that dropped you off. But we love football, and New Orleans fans, they love football. And the funny thing is, my fiance, her entire family is from Louisiana, New Orleans area. So, she's just so happy. And when you have a happy wife, you have a happy life. So that's pretty big.
Jameis, Catherine Terrell with The Athletic. Kind of going off that, is it kind of weird to think you're going to be playing for a division rival or a former division rival, like one that maybe you got into it with people who will be your teammates now? And has anyone reached out? Have you talked to any Saints future teammates so far?
When you think about the NFL, other than the competitive side, we're all one big family. I seen Demario Davis, I seen Cam Jordan, I seen numerous New Orleans Saints players at PAO this year, the Christian Athletic Conference that they host every year, and I'm great friends with those guys. But it's different when you compete on the opposite side. But as a teammate, you have opportunity to serve those guys, and you're competing with them and not against them. So I think we're all one big happy family, and I know we're going to be more excited that we're competing together than against each other.
James, do you think most fans have a good sense of who you actually are, like the person you are?
I don't know. I can't really answer that question. But that's one thing that I've been just trying to do this offseason is trying to let the fans know who I am. Trying to be more interactive via social media and let them see me. I think the platform that I have, and I really use it more as kids, is when you get around kids, you can donate money, you can do this and that. But what kids really love is time, and I think that's what I decided to do to my fans. The good ones and the haters, is just give them time, spend some time with them by showing them what I do, showing them what I'm about, and then they can make their remarks after that.
Can you maybe, to follow up on Rod's question there, could you maybe just elaborate on how much you think you have grown and matured as a person from being in the spotlight in college to where you are now, and how beneficial that'll be here? Because, Sean Payton does talk about accountability, and so does Drew Brees, and just maybe the maturation that you felt you've had over the past 5 or 6 years.
Well, it all starts with my faith walk, and I know I've grown closer to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ tremendously, and that's what really just leads the pack. Just living for God's glory and not for the approval of a man or the approval of anyone else. My main focus is to serve my Lord and Savior the best of my ability. So I know I've grown and matured, and also I'm a father, being a father to a 1-year-old that looks just like you, and you're having to make an imprint on his life, teaching him and showing him how to have high character and how to act when no one is looking. And I have a wife. I have a wife that I have to love and cherish. And I plan on doing that. And one thing that my trainer always talks about, being a better man can make you a better football player, but being a better football player will not make you a better man. And I think I really am learning and mastering. It's an everyday thing. Like, no one's perfect. But I do believe that being a better man has made me a better football player.
We're going to have time for more questions, so we're getting ready to wrap it up. But anything in closing here, folks?
Yeah, sorry, Jameis. Andrew Doak from CBS one more time. You kind of mentioned off the top Brees' willingness to get back to you and how that's maybe kind of a rarity in the league. And you always hear those stories from back in the day, like whether it was between Favre and Rodgers. Favre never wanted to help Rodgers, and it seems like even in last year's quarterback room with Teddy or Taysom, he has this willingness to, even though he's a fierce competitor, to take other quarterbacks under his wing. And how rare is that to find guys of that temperament and willingness to want to do that? Because it seems like he wants to pass the torch to other guys, and he makes that pretty known, if that's fair to say.
Yeah, it's who he is. It's his essence, right? Like when you're who you are, like you can't really avoid that. And that's just the person that he is, a God-fearing, courageous, high character, elite quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback, MVP, future Hall of Famer, father, husband, great teammate, Drew Brees. That's him.
Jameis, can I ask one lighthearted question? I saw where Will Lutz offered to sell you jersey number 3. Are you going to take 5 or another number? Are you going to buy jersey number 3 from him, or does it even matter?
I want number 2, honestly. That's the number that I want. Say, hey, I want number 2, and that's the number I'm gonna get, hopefully.
All right, Jameis.
Is there a reason behind number 2?
Yeah, that's my favorite number. I couldn't get number 2 at Florida State because Dion. I couldn't get number 2 in high school because there's one of my receivers named Brandon Spain, and now I can if it's available.
Your child does look like you.
Oh, thank you. He made a guest appearance. He was looking at it, so I just picked him up.
Thank you all very much for joining us.
Thanks for the time, Jameis.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you guys, man. Thank you for being available. Thank you for accepting me. I look forward to our relationships together, and appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jameis.
Thank you, Jameis.